Hello. Greetings. Welcome to the Road Gateway Rotary meeting of Fund Group. Let's see. Thank you, Pat Bass, for being here today. And Don Welch, would you please come up and do the pledge and booklet test? Thank you.
Everyone, please repeat with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair for all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thanks.
Thank you. Inspiration, Tommy Drake. Come on up. 90 seconds is rolling.
36 is too bad. Okay, time me and tell me when I'm done.
All right, into the mic, please.
I will in a minute. There we go. Okay. My topic today is peace, love, and kindness. And Maya Angelou says in that regard, try to be a rainbow in someone's cloud. And then, oops, where did that go? Kindness is stronger than iron bars. Margaret George, Mary Queen of Scots. The best portion of a good man's life is his little nameless, unremembered acts of kindness and love. Williams Wordsworth. Vincent van Gogh. There is nothing more truly artistic than to love people.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. That was great. And so let's introduce visiting Rotarians. I know we have our Mr. Governor Nelson Naylor over there. We've got Bruce Reese, our Assistant Governor over here. And do we have any other visiting Rotarians? And okay, Rotarians with guests, we're going to pass the mic.
We almost had a wipeout there. Debbie's lunch was almost decorating my sweater. I want to introduce my friend Greg Smith. He owns the Auto Smith here in town. He is a prospective new member. I think his first posting is today. A lot of you might recognize him because he's come and helped us on some of our Rotary projects in the past. He's come to some of our social events, but now he's going to be official.
Excellent. Other Rotarians with guests.
I've got Brett here as a wonderful new friend. I don't know why I didn't invite you. That's like. I was wondering. Yeah, but were you going to do some? But anyway, Brett's in our book club and they moved up into town a couple years back and he's a lovely guy and glad he's here. And I think his background is police force, so be nice.
We need all of that. Thank you very much. Okay, so, let's go. And Lois McMillan is here. She's going to make it.
I know, but.
Okay.
Lois McMillan, wonderful historian and great education teacher. Yeah.
Well, everybody with an announcement, would you please come line up right over here and remember brevity is, you know, whatever that is. And I do want to mention too, where's Zara? Zara, would you raise your hand? Oh, Zara. Zara has a card and a possible book donation bucket if you would like to help us honor Ashley Duvall, one of our members, who's having a baby in February. And this is a completely volunteer, but we're celebrating a new life. And so we'll get that around, the cards and the donation bucket. Okay, announcements.
Okay, for those of you that have been Sergeant of Arms and who want to be Sergeant of Arms in the future, or who are thinking about being Sergeant of Arms, Luke and I are gonna meet with you after the meeting for about 10 minutes, kind of talk a little bit about what that is and what that means. So if you're a sergeant of arms in the past, you're gonna do it in the future, you're thinking about it, we'll have a 10-minute meeting afterwards here.
Good afternoon, and for those of you who know Roger Harding, he is one of our founding members and a long friend, a long time friend of ours. His wife passed away Tuesday, and I have a card, if anybody who knows Roger would like to sign it, even if you don't know him, you're welcome to sign it.
An announcement about shoes that fit. Like I mentioned before, we are going to provide 100% of the children at Sunnyvale Charter School with shoes, so that'll be 92 pair of shoes. Riverside will get 27 pair, and Parkside is currently up for 14 pair for 134 pair of shoes. Parkside has come up with an additional 24 pair that they could use if we can raise the funds, because I'm already at my limit of what the donation is for the club match and the grants. So 24 pair of shoes is $720. It's $30 per pair of shoes. So if you are so inclined to want to donate to the Shoes That Fit program, the funds need to make sure they go to Jan with the RG Rotary Foundation. And so that way the shoes or the funds are designated for Shoes That Fit. But it is something I am going to need to know, because we're in the process of getting we can send our first check off, which is fine for the $4,020 to cover the 134 pair of shoes. I can always do an additional add-on, but we will need to know, so that the school needs to know if they need to measure shoes. So anyway, Shoes That Fit, it's coming, it's on its way, and we could use $720 for a 24 pair if you are so inclined.
Jody, what's the deadline for knowing? Week 2, do you need to?
I probably should know by 2 weeks at the very latest. So that would be fabulous. Thank you.
Quick reminder about the Super Bowl pool. Remember, the purpose is to become an E-rate club. So you get, for a $25 donation to the annual fund share, the Rotary Fund annual fund share, you get 1 square. $100, you get fish hooks for one free. So you get 5 squares. If you're a member of Polio Plus Society, you already got a free square. So, please continue to participate. We are now on the second grid. We filled up the first grid, way to go. We still have 3 weeks to go for meetings. If you're attending other than in person, send me a text message or an email or write me a letter. It's all in the navigator. And we have so far, your chances in the second board are pretty good, because no one named Lisa has signed up for any square.
And for this, Rick, I'll give you my back. On that topic of the watch party, we will be at the Grants Pass Museum of Art on Sunday, February 9th. We timed it with the Super Bowl, 3:00 p.m. Join us. I'm going to pass this around. This is a sign-up sheet, and if you would sign your name and in parentheses the number of people you have and what dish you would choose to share.
Thank you.
Be there, be fun.
Okay,
Thanks,
Lois,
Claudia gave us. Thanks, Claudia.
we'll give Lois a minute to chew. She has an announcement for us with some of her students.
No worries, no worries.
I
I just set my classroom up. I teach American history and eighth government at the high school, Grants Pass High School. Grants Pass High School. I didn't usually use the mic. This is kind of tough. I usually sing into a mic. Grants Pass has this great opportunity this year it's called the American Exchange Project. And it's a wonderful program. It's brand new. It's being run by David McCullough III. I think you probably know David McCullough. He's a great historian. Wrote 1776, Truman, John Adams. That's so many great books. And it's his grandson. When his grandson graduated from college a couple of years ago, he went on a trip across the country. And he saw that the divide, he's very worried, and many of us are in this room, worried about the divide in our society today. And what he saw is the divide wasn't Democrat, Republican, or conservative or liberal. The divide is rural and urban. And that when he went into rural communities, he's an urban kid, he saw that we had a lot more in common than we are different. So he started this organization where kids that are seniors, so these two are seniors, go ahead and I'll introduce you in a minute. And then she's a junior. They will travel between the end of their senior year to their entry either into college, trade school, or some of them take a gap year. Doesn't matter, but they have to be seniors in good standing. And they go to a big city, and then we host, so we want to send out 20, we host 20 kids here in Grants Pass, and they go out to different cities. And what I really like about this program is that all 20 will go to different places. They're not going with each other. So we're gonna get kids from different places. And the goal is to narrow that gap. And it's been famously successful. I think it's in its third year. They were supposed to launch it right that summer that we had the pandemic. So they didn't get to do it. It's been, I could send you a video that Sunday morning, on CBS did a thing on it. It's just awesome. And we're the first school in the state of Oregon to do it. We're the main. Not only that, David McCall, I saw him in Boston about 2 months ago, and he met with our governor and the Senate, the Oregon Senate or representatives, and they want to fully fund this. I mean, they are on board. So we have to do this right. And of course, we're bringing kids from the urban cities into the greatest city, small town in the whole country, Grants Pass. And we're doing it, and you know how much so many of you guys I've served on committees with, Tommy and I and Kelly and Lisa, I think we were all, well, Patty was too. How many else were on the Josephine County Cultural Trust? Yeah, well, you were, yeah, there we go. So many of us have served this community. And so you know how great it is. And so we chose to bring kids in from July 2nd to 9th. So they could celebrate our great national birthday in this beautiful small town of ours. But what we need from you as Rotarians is we need host families. We really need it. And we need 20 of them. And right now we have 14. So we need 6 more host families to sign up. So my kids will be handing out a flyer where you can sign up. You're gonna get if you sign up as a host family, you get a stipend. They give you $250 to cover the costs. And we're planning all the activities. So we really just need a bed at night. You're not doing all the planning or anything like that. The kids are already planning. Shyla, she's gonna work for a big company someday because her logistical skills are out of sight. And I work for Hamilton. She's out doing me every day. So they're wonderful. I want to introduce you to them introduce themselves.
I'm Charlotte Chambers. I'm a senior, and I really want to go to AEP and travel the world because it's been my dream. I don't want to stay in a small town and not know anything other than just my small town. I want to see everything. I want to go abroad too. I want to visit every state. And it's always just been a really big dream for me. And somebody that comes from a poor family, it's really hard to go out and travel. And when I saw this opportunity, I knew I had to take it because it's free and I get to make friends in new states.
Thank you. My name is Solomon Head. I'm a senior at Grants Pass High School, and I'm in the same boat as Shyla. I'm just so excited for an opportunity to see more of our country and get out of this small town that I've known for most of my life. And well, and come back. But as I move on to university and into the workforce, and I'm planning to pursue a degree in computer science. I know that's going to be taking me to big cities around the country, and this is an opportunity to get like my foot in the door and start seeing what life is like in a bigger city. Yeah.
Thanks, Anna. I haven't had Charlotte in the classroom. I wish I had, but I've had Solomon twice. His intellectual curiosity is off the charts. So he says computer science right now. I really think it should be philosophy or history, something that's solid. Will definitely get you a job. And then within our club, we meet every Wednesday morning from 9 to 9:30. We're doing all the planning. So these guys are really committed and they go for free. And then I have a junior, she's in our club and her family is hosting. I've had her in world cultures as a sophomore and now my American history. So she's a junior. But we wanted here, she doesn't know she's gonna talk, but now she knows. You tell us why you would like to travel the United States. And she is another intellectual curiosity kid off the chart.
Thank you. My name is Katie Beardsley. I've lived here my whole life, but I've grown up, my parents work in law enforcement and my dad actually grew up in Peru. So my parents have been all over the world, living in Uganda and serving on missions. So just to carry that through my family and make them proud, but not only that, to bring someone within our state and eventually out of the country to experience what our life is like in our small county, and like Ms. Mack said, bridge the gap between rural and urban. So I'm very excited for this opportunity.
So we'll be passing out, I think we'll pass around flyers. We'd love to have 6 more sign up. We really, there's a deadline that we're facing, January 30th. We really need it, and we just really need beds. That's what we need. So I thank you so much. And I just want to say one more thing. I took another group of kids to the Wednesday Rotary Club, and they ran into Marty Bauer. And Marty Bauer talked about wanting to go out like they were in high school. Your brother was inspired by Marty Bauer. And then when he came back here to live, so we've been all around, he came back here to live, he found out that he was in the greatest city in the country. So we know these guys will come back too.
Thank you, Lois. Thank you, Lois, and thank you, students, for turning out and bringing down the average age here by about 50 years. Okay, it's time for our speaker, and I think introducing our District Governor Nelson Mailer is Bruce Reese. Whose glasses are these? Somebody left their readers up here? Oh.
All right, well, thank you very much. I was here about a month ago introducing my replacement, but this part of my job is to introduce to you the district governor and hand the mic off to him. But first of all, he's at least 20 years in Rotary, and in 2007, he helped found the Club of Illinois Valley. So he's actually a member of our club in Cave Junction also. And at this time, he was also the Polio Plus district chair at one time. Not sure of all the other accolades that he's done or the jobs he's done, but at this time, Nelson Mailer, your district governor.
Thank you, Bruce. So a lot of folks say, oh no, with the district governor's coming, here's another 20-minute speed, some rubber chicken. And I tell everybody, no. Because it's not about me, it's about you. Not about what's important to me, it's about what's important to you as members of this club and members of this community. And if it's important to you, then it becomes important to me. And so I have some inkling of all the wonderful things that you're doing here. Judy gave me a 53-page listing of all the different things that you all have done by individual members. And some of the things that stand out is that everybody really gets involved. Everybody is truly participative in the process of supporting this club and giving back to this community. And I think that's absolutely wonderful. And that is one of the pillar foundational elements needed to have a thriving club. A club that's growing, because if the members, I'm going to scoot over here. If the members feel like that they are valued and that they are needed and they're doing things in the club, we can help the community. That gives them a reason to stay involved. And as you bring in new folks, right? And I think we have a couple of people that are just on the cusp of coming in, right? Or did we actually, are they formally coming in?
Visiting or hoping.
So I don't know if they told you, gentlemen, But when you come to this club, the rest of the folks here are kind of on the shy side, so you have to really reach out to them. But that is one of the things that, as I travel throughout the district and I see a lot of different clubs, it is how active and how involved are the members. And you all really are a textbook example of really how it should be. So what I like to do initially is say, all right, I have the 53-page document that Judy sent me, but I want to hear from you all. What is it that's important to your club? So I have Judy's answers. This is group participation, folks. This is why I'm not giving a 20-minute speech. Yes. Helping others. Okay. Debbie, you had your hand up? Or was that you're trying to hand me a piece of cookie?
Make everybody talk in the mic.
So she stole my thunder, but, so my father-in-law said, this is the best vehicle for doing good in the community, and that has really been the case. And, so the Rotary Book Club just finished reading on freedom, and it said, you know, if you want to make a difference, vote, support your local paper, and do good things in the community.
Wow.
Thank you. How much time do you have?
20 minutes. You have 19 minutes left.
19 minutes left. Okay, so I see Deb over here.
I would say, one of the things I got involved with was how involved that we are with the youth in our, district, in our club big time. So that's why I got involved.
All right, youth is a strong theme that we hear in a lot of the clubs. And
Doug, did you want to talk?
no, I want to say Lois, right?
Yeah.
Right, Lois? Right. Hi, if you haven't, it may have been a while since you've talked to the Wednesday Club. You probably should come back and ask for 6 more homestays. You'll probably get it. Okay? So the Wednesday Club is also very strong when it comes to supporting the youth and the wonderful activities that you all are doing. It's kind of like an internal youth exchange program. It's different than the Rotary Youth Exchange program that we have, right? So, great idea. Good.
One of the things I think is helpful is to hear either from you, through you, from about other clubs and what they're doing that's innovative or new or very successful. Because it's really nice to copy something that's working.
Oh, yeah. And, the thing about it is that each club is different, right? You know that. Okay. And each club looks upon their community differently as to what's the best way to serve, what's the best way to help. I think what you want me to do is say what I mentioned earlier this morning. I went and visited one club and they said, well, we have this little auction. Would you come out and, you can do that and see what we do? I said, okay, sure. All right. So we drove out there, walk in, this is huge hangar type building, just dirt ground. I walk in and it's an auction. Okay, fine. It's an auction. So what are you auctioning off? Well, and we've got chickens, we got hens, we got pigs, we got cattle, we got everything. I said, well, how much are you gonna make today? $1.4 million. One day. Now, obviously, to prepare for that is a lot of time. $1.4 million. Now, they don't keep it, right? Okay. So they give it back out as an FFA type auction, livestock auction, and they end up keeping, I think they told me 6% of the gross proceeds. And then they in turn, that's their fundraiser for the club. And then they in turn give that out to, through scholarships, through RILAS scholarships, through Rotary Youth Exchange, those types of things. So that's an example of something that I think is done extremely well. And you have other clubs that do things like get together with the food bank and help box things together. And I think this club does it too, right? The Forks Project, I think we call it, right? Yeah, see? So that is very common throughout the district. That works really well. People get involved. And then you all do a lot of different things. I mean, I heard here a lot of, your list of, or your lineup of people who want to talk about activities, kind of went all the way back here to the dessert table. So I think that's great. All right, what else? What else is that's important to your club? I want to hear what's important to your club. Gina Marie.
I think for our club, the hands-on projects that we've done where we're not just raising money and supporting folks, but actually getting out and getting our hands dirty and building, Foundry Village or building a tranquility garden for the senior center, building little libraries to put all over the community. I think when we can get together and actually do a visible project, that's really fun.
All right, and I think a lot of times Rotarians like doing those little, I'll be there on Saturday and I will help build some, drive nails. I will comb through, pull out rocks, those types of things. And then at the end, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm dirty, but it's good. Right? So, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, since the clock is ticking, I want to ask the other question now. What is the challenges that you currently have? All right, let's get in the way of you all doing more things, be more successful. All right, shall I repeat that? Margaret says it was old age. Anybody else have a different answer? Yes, Don.
I think a big challenge for us is having the time to do just Rotary things because the majority of us are involved in many other service projects. So it's time.
Actually, you're reading my script. So, time. Now, you probably already know this, I'm preaching to the choir, but you all have something that is highly sought after in this community. You all are astute individuals who know how to get things done. You have access to the people, you have access to the resources, you have the connections, and maybe it's not all in this club, but by virtue of who you are and what you've done in this community, you can make things happen, right? And so if the community has a need and they come to your Rotary Club and they say, we need your help, you all can make it true, right? And that's wonderful, but where you have limitations is time and energy, time and energy, right? And so one of the ways that you can solve that problem, especially since we don't want too much of that work to fall on too few shoulders, is to do what you're doing today. You look at bringing in more people. That's how we can do more things in the community and still keep a balance with what we're doing. So, right off my script. Thank you, Don. Yeah. What else? What other challenges? No other challenges.
I'll add one over here.
Oh, I thought I heard salary. Oh, salary? Oh, yeah, okay, let's talk about salary now.
That's a good one. Yeah, I didn't get much when I was city councilor, I will tell you that. One of the things I think is, if you look around, the people who have the most time are retirees, and we need to somehow bring in younger people and make it to where they want to get part of this service, because that is something that I'm seeing in a lot of organizations, is that, the time, it takes time, and people younger don't have the time, but somehow we want to bring them in to get involved.
Jenny's got her hand up. Pick me, yeah.
No, absolutely. You're that was what I was thinking myself, is bringing in more younger people. And I think one of the other things they don't have is money. Time and money. I was sponsored as a young person in this club many years ago when I didn't have money, and it enabled me to give of my time and to become a part of this. Well, that was the real hook. But I remember several people came together and put money forth for me to pay dues and to be able to be here and to be a part of this. And my niece is now joined in the same way, kind of paying it forward deal. And her energy and her time and her commitment to it is amazing. And not only that, but the flip side, the influence that this club has on her life as a new person in this community is just, I am so grateful for that. I'm grateful for it for myself and for her. It's become generational. So that's one of the things I think we could really benefit from.
All right, so the growing old is consistent throughout all the Rotary clubs. People are concerned, clubs are concerned. Hey, we're aging out. If half of your club members are retired, right? Then, 10 years from now, you're going to start dropping folks, not because they're leaving or they're getting relocated, because they're going out feet first, right? Okay, so what do you have to do in order to bring in Well, it's true though, right? It's true. And, you know, the idea here is that we know that's gonna happen, right? So that's number one. We know that's gonna happen. So whatever we can do in order to keep people involved in the club will help, right? To the extent that we can keep ahead of the attrition rate, that will keep the club growing, right? And these folks here. And another way we can keep energy and excitement in the club is continue to bring in new members. And the younger folks have these wonderful new ideas that we haven't heard before. And having a creative way of including them in our club and making it easier on them to afford it and easier on them from a time commitment standpoint, I think will attract them and make them want to stay. Because one of the things that we do very, very well, but we don't talk about too much, is that we are a leadership training ground, right? And when I mention that to the young folks that are looking to join Rotary, their eyes get this big. Really? I can learn how to become a better leader by joining Rotary? No one's offering them that. Where do I sign up? How do I get in? And they absolutely love that. So be creative on what you do. And each club is doing their things different, right? In terms of bringing in folks like that. And they'll do things like, well, if you put in more hours of service, then we will pick up more of your expense. And that seems to work. So I want to make sure that there's anything else that what I have 5 more minutes or so, Judy? Sure, she said, sure. So, you know, this club has done a great deal of stuff. I remember being president. This is, okay, I remember being president with him, and we would always get together as 4 presidents of the 4 clubs, and we chat about, okay, what do we do this and how do we do that? And we had a lot of fun, and it was good times.
Good year.
And that's part of the fellowship and the friendship that comes from being a Rotarian, right? There's 2 different answers to 2 different questions. One, why did you join Rotary? Sometimes it's because I was told I had to. Sometimes it's because, you know, my boss said I needed to, or my father-in-law said this is what I need to do. So why you joined is probably a different answer than why you stayed. Right? And if you think about why you stayed, isn't that like your elevator speech as to why to join Rotary? Your own personal reasons for joining? You know, there's a lot of benefits you get from it, besides the pay.
Push that forward.
There you go.
I moved it so you wouldn't.
Oh, so I can walk around it. I'll walk around it this way. How's this? Huh? Why did you join? And why did you stay?
I always wanted to be a Rotarian. Both my parents were Rotarians, but I always had a job where I traveled my whole career. And you had to have attendance. We didn't have Zoom in those days. And so when I finally went to work at RCC and found out that we, as a community, since we had started in Grants Pass, we had very little presence in Jackson County. I joined one of the clubs over there, which I've shared before, could not be more different than this club. You know, everything was, there was a rule for everything, and nobody just stood up and spoke. And if you did, you got the hook, you know, but I loved it. I learned a lot. I loved it. And then when I retired, I wanted to continue and be part of that. And then I've had a whole different experience with this club, which has been very fun. It makes me laugh. I am inspired by all of the different people in here, the kind personalities, to the person. So that's why I stayed.
That's great. Anybody else want to share? I have 4.5 minutes left. Okay. Oh, there we are. Oh, I haven't heard from you in a while. I know, dear.
Well, when my husband and I moved here, I didn't know very many people, and I was introduced to Catherine Wood and Chuck Potter and some other people, but the 2 of them went to battle over to get me in their club, which Catherine's was Thursday at that time, and Chuck Potter's was Wednesday, and that's where I first met you. I love these people. It's just, this is home, and I've gotten some dear friends, and I'm most grateful. And in any way I can help, give me a call. Bye.
You know, that's the other thing that I've learned people have asked me, what's the funnest part about being a district governor? I said, it's the pay. And then the bonuses. The bonus is the getting to know people, how they truly are. And what's really important to them. That has been the greatest experience that you can have, because as I travel, there's 3,000 of us, right? Okay, so 61 clubs, 4 Rotary clubs, 24 Interact clubs, 3,000 people, 55,000 square miles, lots of miles on my car, right? I'm doing calls in my car all the time now. But it's the people. It's the people that make the difference, right? It's truly the people. And I have 2.5 more minutes, so a couple more things. We do a lot of things within our district to try to bring Rotary to you all, right? That was one of my things I wanted to do, is I didn't want everyone to feel like they had to go to events. I wanted to bring it to the different areas, different regions. And one of them is Rotary Leadership Institute. It's a training, it's a 1.5 days. But the first one we had was down in Ashland, and now we have one in Cottage Grove on February 1st and 2nd. Okay, and we're gonna probably do a third one yet. Probably on the coast, I'm not sure, but we'll see. The idea is to bring this opportunity, take advantage of it, whether you be a new person to Rotary, whether you want to be a stronger leader, whether you want to find out more about Rotary, whether you're coming in as becoming president of the club. It's a wonderful opportunity. Do take advantage of it. Used to be called PETS, now it's called PALS, President-elect Learning Seminar, right? It is probably the best of the best we have out there, folks. Pacific Northwest is probably the best. We get the accolades. We get 700 people to come to Seattle, Washington for this. And we come away going, we are better trained than a lot of other people. In my travels, and I have seen a lot of different districts, I've sat in a lot of different meetings. I sit down and we talk about different topics: foundation, public image, membership, leadership. And I can't believe the questions that are coming from people that are to be district governors. It's like, I learned that way back when. We are the best trained, one of the best trained districts in the Rotary world, certainly on the West Coast. So take advantage of that. There will be membership forms that will be coming around. So there's another one in March. I'm not quite sure where, but it might likely be here in our home turf. Take advantage of it. Club Learning Assembly, that's April 12th. That'll be in Cottage Grove, the Cottage Grove High School, right? The district annual meeting will be on the 19th online via Zoom. That's where you can learn a little bit more about what's going on in the business level. May 10th is obviously the Rotary Invitational Track Meet, right? All hands on deck. Right? We've been doing that for 72, 73 years, something like that. Right? And then, of course, we have the district conference. And that's the district conference. We'll be here in Grants Pass. The last district conference in Grants Pass was about 40 years ago. 40 years ago at the fairgrounds, not by somebody who was a member of any of the clubs here. Just decided to have it at the fairgrounds. So this is the very first time that we're doing it in Grants Pass with the sitting governor. So, and I think we ought to take advantage of it, and a lot of folks have stepped up. I know that Patty and Don have stepped up. They're working really hard on the Friday evening event, and they have this wonderful ideas of what they want to do, and I think that's wonderful. That's great. Each club is participating in their own ways, and we need to make sure that we do things, so that when people come to this district conference, they will go away and go, wow, Grants Pass got their act together. They know what they're doing. This is fun. Right? So the rest of you, what you don't know, obviously Friday afternoon is golf, right? Friday evening is dinner at the fairgrounds, and we have catered sausage for providing the meal, and we have Brothers Reed. Am I letting too many cats out of the bag? Brothers Reed will be there. So, and there's all sorts of other things that they're planning to do, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And then Saturday day is at the Performing Arts Center. Okay, and that's where we have the plenary speakers and the breakout rooms. Okay, and then Saturday evening is kind of the capstone event. It's a nice dinner at the Boys and Girls Club, including the silent auction. And can I say it or not yet?
Say it.
Say it. So the brothers Reese, not brothers Reese, brothers Reese. Bruce and David, talked to their mom, and they have made a family decision to go ahead and offer for auction a 1940 sedan. Ford sedan, 1940 Ford sedan. So we're working through all the logistics here a little bit, but that's over the top huge. Very generous, very top. Lots to look forward to in our district. And, you know, if there's anything that we can do, we will bring the resources to anything that you need. We work collaboratively with one another. Let's, you know, maintain open channels of communication. I thank you very much for your time this afternoon. With that, I'll hand the mic over to your president, Jim.
Anything behind you? So coming up, Bruce, we have a little gift for both of you, and this one's yours, Nelson. We have a nice bottle of white wine, excuse me, red wine from Roxy Ann in Medford. If you know their claret, is really good. And one of their the owner, Chad Day, was a member of the Rotary Club in Medford I was with. And then for you, because you're from Cave Junction, it's Spirits. Hamilton whiskey. And let's get a quick picture here.
Why don't we get you guys right on the stage?
And then who's our sergeant today? Val, why don't we cue you up?
Yes, I do look forward to meeting, because I am the future. As soon as I am, so I am going to tell. I am doing what he called me up. I thought it would be part of it.
Okay, all right, thanks, everybody.
Okay, thank you. And I do look forward to getting to know you better and being involved slowly. I will say, one of the reasons that I joined Rotary and it's been so wonderful is, and after 9 years of being city council, which I truly did enjoy, the last year and a half has been a little rough. So when I met happy people that had fun and you sit there and scream at me. Okay, I was very excited to meet these wonderful people.
Valerie is being very cooperative as I interrupt her multiple times. I meant to thank Nelson. If you don't know this, Nelson has been a personal sponsor of Porch Fest for the past umpty-dump years, and we appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Okay, I don't really get to talk about it. One of my Porch Fest activity that we do, because that is definitely absolutely wonderful. And thank you for Kelly, because I know she and Tommy to go around and get all the music people, and I think our community really looks forward to that. And once again, the money goes to some wonderful kids activities. So anyway, I've got to watch clock. I'm really good. I try to be a good sergeant of arms. And as you know, I always like to go a little deep dive into history, but I kept it short this time. So I started off with a disaster because it was huge. On January 23rd in 1556, the largest earthquake that has ever happened in Shanxi, China. 800 and 30,000 people died in that earthquake. And that was just like, oh my God. Anyway, that's the only name. And then I moved on to the first female doctor, Elizabeth Blackwell, got her degree, became first female doctor in 1849. So that was kind of exciting historically. And then the last one is 1973, when President Nixon signed Nixon signed a peace accord ending the Vietnam War. So that was a big date to remember, because January 23rd is pretty random. So then I went through and thought, well, okay, well, I'm not going to do the historical thing, but I'm going to talk about it's, you know, there's a national day of everything. And so I kind of went to national days to see, and one of them I was really impressed with. It is today's National Handwriting Day, because it was John Hancock's birthday. So that was kind of a day that, you know, the power of the pen and how important it was really needs to move on. Because now that we're all on emails and all those things that are so, and texts that are so impersonal, there is nothing like a handwritten note that goes to somebody. So this is a day where we celebrate getting out that pen and a piece of paper and writing to somebody that you've lost touch with or anybody and just sending them a note in handwriting. So my goal this afternoon is to write a letter. I got a wonderful Christmas card from Josie Malloy, who was a member of our Christmas card and of our Rotary. She's a wonderful person. She's got a wonderful family. She moved back to Wyoming to be with other family. And so she sent me just lovely pictures of her and her children, which was really nice. She used to come and take swim lessons in my house. So I got to know the kids as well. So that was really nice. So this afternoon, since I'm really bad at Christmas cards, I'm going to sit down and write a note to Josie. So I'm going to take advantage of that. And then one other day it was, which is kind of fun. So this is kind of like an activity I think we've got time for. It's National Pie Day, and we're not talking about mathematical pie day, which happens in March. This is the real thing. This is like eating and gorging. So today's National Pie Day. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do an activity where we came up with to see how close we were, is they did a survey, national survey, to see what was everybody's favorite pie. And I have those numbers here. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to see how close we came in our own little Rotary to that number and see what our favorite pies were. So of course I have to give out the choices. So hopefully you can keep there's 4 choices in your brain. Because I don't have it on a drive, but I figured we could do this. So obviously the cherry is one of your choices. Apple is one of your choices. Pecan pie is one of your choices. Blueberry is one of your choices. And then your last choice is other, because there's a million other types of pies. So okay, one thing I did forget here, just to do this. So I just need, of course, a total, because this is a little bit of a math journey to figure out the percentages. So I think I figured out there was 46 of us. And so I'm going to use that number, and that doesn't include those of you online. I want you to know you are included as well. So now I'm going to just do a hands up, and I'm going to ask 5 of those choices: cherry, apple, pecan, blueberry, or other, what your choice is. It might be easy actually if you kind of talk about it in your group. Okay, so just do that. Think to yourself, and we will get these numbers down, and I will miraculously get this out fast for you. So how many of you have cherry as your favorite type?
3.
4. How many have apple as your first choice?
10.
And people online, I don't know if you want to put it in the chat, if there's a chance.
Raise their hand, tell them to raise their hands.
Okay, or they can raise their hands. So I will say apple pie, there we go. Ashley, thank you, Ashley. Okay, so that's gonna add 1 to that, so makes that 14. Oh, well, I have my calculator. So unless you want to, you know, if you're really good. Pecan, how many people have pecan? Ooh. How many blueberry? Combine it with another berry besides blueberry, I think. Anyway, that's it, right? So that was it. And that's how many other? Okay. I know. I'm sorry, we could do it completely different and go on forever with this, but I have a time limit and I know it, so I'm gonna, okay, anybody else online want to give me theirs? We got cherry, I got apple from Ashley. Thank you, Susan, James, Cindy, or not.
No.
So let's take that, and I'm gonna do this quick math here. I'm gonna go with 46. So cherry pie would be, if you can go get your calculator faster, yes, that's what I should. Okay, reading the drum. I will tell you that on the national survey, 4%, 14% was for cherry. In our club, it is. So, oh, I did that wrong.
You gotta move on too.
No, this is not. Okay. You want to do math on it? No, no, I'll tell you what, I will do this, I will do the calculations, and I will do Happy Bucks at the same time, because Happy Bucks is truly our goal at this point in time. So I want you to think about pie, and think about one amazing time that you had pie, or if you'd like to talk about somebody you're gonna write a letter to on this day, or you wanna say why you joined Rotary and why this is such a great group of people, give me your hands and I'll start having somebody walk around. Who wants to walk around?
I'll walk around.
Thank you, Debbie.
I'm a walker.
I have lots of happy bucks today. I had one living relative that I knew that actually loved me, and today, my grandmother Evelyn would be her 115th birthday. She's born in 1910. And I'm going down to see my siblings who actually love me. And Chico today, I'm leaving right from here, heading down to see my brother and sister that I've met in the last 10 years, and I'm the happiest woman in the world. So there's a lot of happy bucks coming that way for them. And I'm gonna pass it over here to this very classically dressed lady.
My happy buck, I don't know how to do this, but I want to really thank
Give us money.
Valerie and Debbie, two of the finest public servants we have in our community. They really are exemplary, and I talk about the service of public officials and how hard it is, and we just can't thank you enough.
Okay, who else is happy? There were lots of hands.
Okay, John.
Into the mic.
Mike.
I've said for a couple of years that I would like to be president, and if I was president, I would do exactly what these kids are doing. Everybody, every kid would serve, and the rural kids go to the cities and clean up, and the city kids go to the rural areas and paint grandma's house and that kind of thing.
Thanks, John. Who else is happy?
I have 5 happy bucks for the wonderful meetings that Lois has called at the library. We had 80 people the first time. They've been very, I hope it continues. It's been just wonderful I want to hear what all the people there are wanting to do to keep it going. It's been wonderful.
I'll go next. I'm gonna add in for that because I agree, those presentations have been absolutely incredible, and my reading list has tripled, which is problematic because my time has not. The other happy bug that I'm putting down is, you guys know that I started a new job as project manager at Asante in October. And I did a bunch of learning the first month and then started working on projects or got assigned projects in November. And yesterday, I got to kick off my first official project that I've started from the beginning. We had our kickoff meeting yesterday, so we're gonna get working on the project, and it was just really exciting.
Bucks today are just for all of you. I haven't been here in a few months. Service is so important to me, but my service has been really close to home with death and dying and illness and that kind of thing. But I always would just plug into you all and know that there was so much that we're accomplishing as a group in our community. And that helped me so much when I thought about the suffering that's going on and just knowing that as a group, we're all taking care of it. And so also in terms of handwritten, I received 2 handwritten notes while I was away. Now they were penned by Tommy, but always signed your Rotary, right? And so thank you so much for letting me know that I was missed, and I got so many greetings here today, and I'm just full of the love and the energy to be back. Thank you.
I wanted to say this club is full of really fun old people that are, I mean, they are like, we get out there in the cement and no matter what age we are, we're out there. So Debbie and I talked about this a lot. Why do we target young people? It's because we'll die eventually. And I want to train you guys. But the old people in this club are so involved. I mean, I'm looking at all of us and everybody's so involved. So age isn't a thing. And I love the fact that we yell at each other, like Doug yelled at John to talk in the mic and and we yell at Valerie to hurry up. So anyway, this
Hurry up,
was just
hurry
great.
up.
Oh, yeah, Val.
Okay, I know that now. So an update for those of you that sit on the edge of your seat wanting to know about our missing newspapers, from last week's story. It turns out it's the cat of the neighbor who's still in our newspapers. That is just, I'm so much happier that it's the cat, not the dog. That's such a better story. And then another happy buck or bucks, I challenged Deb Brownell to relate the story of the little boy reading. Because when Bev told me about your little boy reading, you were reading it, that was just funnier than hell. So no pressure, but it was funny. So tell everybody.
All right, Debbie, you're on. Okay, so I seem to get the problem children in the first grade classes that I help out in, and so this little boy says, I've already done 5 words of the 79 on the page, and he says, I'm only gonna do 12, that's it. And it's like, do not think of the future, we are in the now. And it was constant, and we made it through all 79 words. And I think Bev was laughing because, you know, I refused to give up, and I kind of channeled Lois. With a constant stream of, this is what's gonna happen, this is what we're gonna do, just keeping forward and never giving up. And, you know, some of these kids, I know that they have manipulated the adults in their life into giving up, and I refuse.
Is there anybody back here? All right, one last thought, those of you who are going to be helping with the watch party, if we're gonna have a short meeting, I forgot to say that at the beginning, oh, happy bucks for me, so I'm forever. I'm old.
Yeah, we all can relate to that, but I do also want to throw something up to Lois. I went to the last one because I was out of town. I couldn't make it to the first 2 things that she had at the library. And it was so amazing. I'm so excited and I'm hoping that we can carry it forward. So thank you for that. And thank you for all you do in bringing these wonderful kids in. It was so nice to see you. Okay, quickly. Cherry pie, 14% of the survey, 9% us. Apple pie, 37%, 30% us. Pecan pie was only 16 out in the world, but we had 22. And we were pretty close on the other, 24 and 26. So just, you know, magic math. So there we go. And more importantly, I'm gonna have you, Mr. Nelson, our district manager.
No, Val, that is the winning card on top.
Oh, that is the winning card on top. Okay, well, there we go. But that's not fair because I have the king and the ace of diamonds. And I thought for sure it was my lucky hand. And it's the jack of diamonds. So who got the jack of diamonds? Who came so close to me? No. Okay. So there we go.
Thank you, Valerie.
Val.
Here's all your stuff. Yes, ma'am.
Date for our next board meeting.
Yes, and I'm going to send it to you. It's either the 19th or the 20th, I can't remember. So I'll send it to you, and we don't have a location yet either, but we will. Okay, thought for today, Martin Luther King. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. And that's from his I Have a Dream speech, and it's lovely to see all of you. Thank you, Nelson and Bruce, and everybody else for another fun meeting. We'll see you next week.